So today I want to give you a little tease on a book you might want to read if you're interested in the high strange. It says Sorcerer's Apprentice, My Life with Carlos Castaneda by Amy Wallace. Um, it's basically what she says. She had a relationship with Carlos Castaneda for many years. She was a student of his. She was very active in his spiritual teaching organization and in his inner social circle, and they had a romantic sexual relationship for many years as well, as he did with a number of women. This I think is important for people to read if you're interested in the experiences of people who have had uh, encounters with the numinous, near-death experience, they saw a UFO, bedroom visitation by aliens, monster encounters. Oftentimes, this precipitates a type of a psychic or spiritual or ontological crisis, and so these experiencers have had their worldview completely shaken up and they are out looking for answers, and they can be set up to get involved with these kind of harmful um, groups and because of their desire to um, find meaning and wisdom and knowledge about what they have experienced. This is, I say, a very brutal book. Um, she is very personal. It's about the most private aspects of her spiritual, sexual, social life. She's very honest about it, and she also tells a compelling story, as did, of course, Mr. Castaneda, who was a heck of a storyteller. He was also a consummate trickster, a big liar, big hoaxer. You could never tell when he was up to anything good. He also was wonderful at manipulating people in large groups and getting them to keep all type of secrets, getting them to cut off ties with families and friends, destroy their own possessions, their own personal history. He was also fantastic at jerking people around about their sex lives, which is one of the nastier things you can do. But if you want to control people, he was a master at it. But he was able to get away with all this because he had this extraordinary outsized charisma, which he cultivated. And unfortunately, I think personally that he started to buy his own brand of shit, and so things didn't go very well. So I was writing recently about the Gnostic closet and how you have a lot of people that have these experiences and they don't want to talk about them. Now, there's a lot of different reasons, but a lot of them can go back to these type of humiliating, horrible, painful experiences that can happen around these encounters, and then, of course, the group situations. Um, it's kind of nasty to admit that this man that you thought cared about you and wanted to marry you is now sleeping with X other number of women and is pressuring you to go out and find a younger, tighter ass for him to partake of. But she goes there, and I think it's important to realize if you're investigating these things or speaking with people who've had strange experiences or who are pursuing these type of knowledge about it, if they're holding back to get a feeling for what the type of things are that they might be holding back. And that's why I think that even though this goes against the grain of what many people in the field, for example, looking at flying saucers, are interested in pursuing today, this is not objective. It's not scientific. She does not have advanced degrees. She's not, a level-headed, cold. Let's go back and look at the big picture. That's not this story. It is very raw and very personal and very digging into all the nastiness and exposing it. But at the same time, she's also very good at talking about the wonderful, sweet times that she had with him, how much she learned from the other witches who looks like committed suicide after Carlos Castaneda died. All the things that she learned from them, and the wonderful times that they had together. So in that way, I think even though she isn't classically like journalistically objective or scientifically objective, you can bring an honesty to these type of experiences, which is very valuable. And let's see. other than that, I think the only thing that I would like to emphasize is that when you're reading, for example, about the trickster or liminality, you say, oh, these groups often end up having infighting, or there's manipulation, or there's secrets. And they have a charismatic leader. I mean, it sounds very dry and academic, which is fine because you're looking at the big picture. But reading a book like this one is excellent for giving you a feeling for how these things might play out in real life. I mean, it's similar to the Heaven's Gate group, in that there was this secrecy, these inner circles within inner circles, in groups and out groups. Secret practices that go on that serve to cut people off from the outer society. So I think that it can be helpful to not just read about this in the kind of anthropological, dry sense, but see what it's like when you're in the soup and when you didn't have an idea really that this type of thing went on and you thought people were being straight with you, and actually things are very exciting. The other thing that I appreciate about this book is that she really digs into the taboo subjects that I find happen, I don't know, regularly or not. It can happen with women in these type of groups seeking spiritual knowledge, that you have the guru basically who is saying, I can help you, but we have to get in there and do some hands-on work to make this happen. And I think that this is often kept secret. I mean, on the one hand, it could be like a private, intimate experience, which is really no one else's business, which is fine. But if you have these people that are being very manipulative and jerking you around, and in this guy's case, not even delivering, as she says, on the spiritual knowledge that he was claiming to disperse through his magic semen, they're just doing this to jerk you around. And it's often not talked about because, of course, if you're the woman on the receiving end of this or pressure to behave in this way, it could be extraordinarily humiliating. Plus, you're usually a lower status in the organization. You're speaking out against, the enlightened guru. So I'm really happy that Amy Wallace had the bravery to deal with this honestly. And I really encourage anyone who is interested in this side of the experience of High Strange to take a look at this book. Thank you.